Hello Wolfpack. We're here, we're analysing Ethereum Classic ETC today. Yesterday we released a poll on our Twitter basically asking whether you want to analyse Nano or ETC, and ETC was second. We analysed Nano yesterday, so we're going to be doing this today. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a huge ETC investor. I do invest in them during the altcoin season, as I think that every single coin out there has the right time to invest in. I mean, for example, I don't like Dogecoin, I don't like Shiba. However, I do understand that, there comes an opportunity in the market. If there comes, certain opportunities where the TA's lined up, everything's lined up, I will invest in them. I'm not going to have any bias towards any coins, and I think that's a good way to do investing. For example, a lot of people tell me all the time, let's just use Bitcoin as an example. Okay, it's not a very good example, but let's just use it. Okay, so, Bitcoin, it's really performed well for me. It's made me a lot of money. I really like Bitcoin, and that's not really a reason to like a coin, I think that you should like a coin based on the fundamentals. I don't think that, whether you made money or lost money on a coin should be the judgment you make to like a coin. That's just, bringing your emotions into investing, and, investing is definitely not an emotional game. It's a game of logic, and it's a game of knowledge. So what we can see here on ETC on the daily chart is basically an exponential move up, from around April this year, in which we reached 18x just from April. But if we actually zoom out all the way to the bear market lows, we can see ETC has gone up, 38x. It's just, or like 40x. It's an absolutely, massive mover. And that's why I said, even though I'm not particularly fond of the ETC fundamentals, typically there's coins in the market that move the same every single kind of cycle, and ETC is one of the coins that moves very, very fast during the start of the altcoin season. That's just always how it has been. It was like that in 2017. It's like that now, and we can definitely see a trend going forward there. So it's good to note things like that down for the next bull market. What's going to move first? ETC, add it to the list. We can see that ETC had kind of two regions of resistance here in both of these green boxes that we've now kind of labeled as support, and we've kind of bought ETC in these ranges. Now, we've done ETC trading signals in the past on our Telegram group. Make sure to join that. The link is in the description, and we will put that in the comments as well. Any ETC trades that you might be interesting, or definitely other coins as well, will be posted in that Telegram group for you guys to see. But what we can see here on ETC is we dropped into this buying range here around the 22nd of June. This is when we released the trading signal. We bought it up, and then we broke firmly out of this long-term kind of descending wedge. Well, not long-term, but, a couple months of descending wedge. We broke out, and we saw a massive daily candle in just one day, raising about, 37%. So that was some good profits for us. We rejected off of this. Let's get the pen out here. We rejected off the 50 SMA here, and then we kind of re-entered. We could draw almost, another descending wedge if we wanted to, or maybe even a descending triangle, in which we've broken out of that one as well. And we've kind of rejected off the 50 SMA again. But if we zoom in a little bit, you can see we've just flipped above the 50 SMA. And this is why we're doing a video on ETC today, because now we're kind of in a more comfortable position. We've flipped the bull market support band, which is the 21-week EMA and the 20-week SMA, and we've flipped the 50-day SMA as well. And as you can see, we're getting crunched between the Ichimoku cloud. Now, what I'm expecting here for ETC, there's two scenarios. One of them is more likely than the other. Since we've flipped that bull market support band and we've flipped the 50 SMA, right? Realistically, what we should be seeing here on ETC is a breakthrough of this Ichimoku cloud, reject off 58, which is our, short-term support zone, maybe bounce around a little bit and then break through and continue in this range before, if we see a bull market continuation, we can smash through this critical resistance zone as well. And from that point, we can definitely look to start making some all-time highs here on ETC. Upwards of 185, which is the all-time high. That's gonna be when the alt season continues. As for when that is, we're not really sure, but it's going to be after Bitcoin makes its first move, because Bitcoin has to be the first mover before money can twinkle down into altcoins. So it's not looking too bad on ETC in terms of fundamentals. It's looking better than a lot of altcoins. We never saw, a def cross here, and we probably won't be seeing a def cross just due to the amount of time left we have in this cycle. So ETC looks good in the short term. I definitely have high hopes for ETC for the rest of the bull market, even though the fundamentals don't necessarily appeal to me. What we can see on the Bitcoin chart here, so ETC Bitcoin, we can see that ETC is doing something similar. In terms of, bullish momentum kind of forming here on ETC. We can see that, we started out here, we released into market 2016, and in the first bull run, we jumped above to this all-time high here at almost 0.01 sats. However, we kind of just fell a little bit short of it, dropped down during the bear market, continued this massive downwards trend that we can see here. Let's get the pen out. We saw a massive downwards trend here. Now, in this new bull market here, we've kind of seen a rise in ETC, and you can see how quickly this one moves. Did the same thing here, just 3 monthly candles was boosted up roughly 835% on the Bitcoin pair. So it's definitely a fast mover. And we've seen this small correction here, which is fine. What we could be seeing on ETC here is as Bitcoin makes the move, altcoins are going to lag behind a little bit as Bitcoin moves up to its new all-time highs. We could see something like this, a drop down to the bottom of this range. Alt season will begin and we'll bounce off this support zone, and then we'll make some, sharp moves upwards for ETC. So we're looking good on ETC. One more thing I'd like to add to this analysis is that in a similar way to Bitcoin Cash, ETC has the extra security, especially in a bear market, just due to the fact that it's got the name Ethereum. And Ethereum is obviously the second biggest coin in the crypto market. So having the name Ethereum naturally is appealing, especially to new investors who are not particularly educated on the market, because they think it's all kind of, the same thing, for lack of a better word. So it's always going to have that new upspring of investors. That's one of the reasons why it probably took off so hard in the alt season, because, new people came to the market. They liked Ethereum, so naturally they're going to like Ethereum Classic. That's just how this kind of thing works. So it's got that extra security, which is great. There's definitely times to invest in it. It looks quite good in the short and long term. I'm thinking that ETC could probably reach 500 USD, at the end of this bull market if we see a full continuation. And that's a big if. It's not necessarily a big if, but it is an if to consider, because every cycle is the same in a way, but it also is, different in terms of how high the returns can get and how long they can take. But my predictions are out there in the Telegram group if you want to join up. I'm thinking 500 USD sounds like a good price point for ETC this bull run. And yeah, that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.